on News Hour versus Subramanian Swamy, man who held that explosive news conference. Now, every news conference of his is explosive. This was ultra explosive tonight. And he's taking on Sanjay Jha of HumaraCongress.com. Subramanian Swamy, you're going to be sued by Rahul Gandhi, and I'm sure you are in receipt of the letter sent by his office, which calls the charges that you have made utterly false, baseless and defamatory, a motivated attempt for reasons which can be easily seen, and that Rahul Gandhi's office says they will pursue all legal actions against the scandalous abuse evident in your so-called press conference.
First of all, I have not received the letter, but I've seen media reports of it. And I don't know who's going to do the suing. And they obviously don't know the law. When a person is defamed, only that person can sue, not we. Let them go and learn some law. See, I know that they are very poorly educated people, but at least you should consult some lawyer before sending a letter.
This is a legally drafted letter.
Throw it in the waste paper basket.
This is as good as a legal notice.
Oh, it is it? How about that? It is not a legal notice at all. It can't be sent by anyone. A legal notice can only be sent by a lawyer, by the way.
Okay. Sanjay Jha, do you believe, Sanjay Jha, do you believe that Subramanian Swamy's news conference, I'm going to open this up today, do you believe it was baseless and defamatory? Sure. Don't you believe that he has raised some valid points which Rahul Gandhi, as a public person holding a public office, should come out and explain now, give in detail?
Arnab, Mr. Swamy's track record is pretty obvious, is clear as daylight. I don't have to repeat that. You know, end of day, Mr. Swamy, have been observing him rather closely since Arvind Kejriwal took on the mantle of being India's most talented serial accuser. Mr. Swamy has been very disturbed. He feels his entire agenda of accusing people, occupying high offices in the Congress has been hijacked by the ISC rival of his. And, you know, end of day, Robert Vadra was a target for Mr. Kejriwal. So Mr. Swamy believes in escalating that because, you know, that is the kind of agenda he has. Let me tell you, you know, all the news, the press conference that he held today, Mr. Swamy is fully aware that this is out there in an RSS website a couple of days ago. He's actually repeated the same facts over and over again.
Does that make it less relevant?
To answer your question.
Does that make it less relevant?
I'll answer that. Absolutely. Let me answer that. The problem for Mr. Swamy is that he always has been marketing these half-baked truths because, you know, if you heard his first reactions, they sound so personal, they sound so vitiated. It almost sounds like somebody who is out to, you know, score a personal agenda against Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Sonia Gandhi.
Sanjay, are you going to debate the content or only the form? No, my question to you tonight is, are you going to debate the content or only the form? You're talking about the form. What about the content?
No. There are two aspects to it. Let me tell you, one of the accusations that he's made.
Okay, now you're being specific.
Actually thoroughly investigated. No, let me answer that. He says, why wasn't this particular trust, why wasn't it declared by Rahul Gandhi in his election, you know, as part of his affidavit? Basic facts, Mr. Swamy, you are a lawyer, you claim to be a very learned lawyer. End of day, you should know that if a venture has got no commercial or business kind of a motive, it doesn't have to be declared in an election affidavit. Okay. So this is nothing but inflating the issue. Let him respond. And the bottom line is the very fact that Rahul Gandhi for the first time, this is unprecedented, is sending him a legal notice, is tangible evidence that Mr. Swamy has reason to sweat about it.
Mr. Sanjay Jha argues tonight, Subramanian Swamy, that this is not a commercially driven organization. It is not an organization driven for profit, and hence by default, it does not have to be mentioned in Rahul Gandhi's election affidavit. Also, I would also like to follow up one small point with you, Mr. Swamy. I have this document, 2008 document. I find, and you mentioned this at the news, I find that the place where Rahul Gandhi's name is mentioned is, and I will now point, you know, it's added in some way, you know, and I have made a noting here. I said it is, when I was seeing what you put out, I said it was written in ink. This is my handwriting, written in ink, my observation, but this is not, this has been written in. It seems a bit, are you sure about this?
Well, first of all, you see, I don't have to respond to that gentleman you picked up from somewhere. He has only worked on my
Mr.
motives.
Swamy, you're looking a nervous man. You're looking like a nervous man.
Now, please, let me speak. I didn't interrupt you. If he's going to interrupt me, I will terminate this interview. Okay?
Actually, you're a national terrorist.
Continue, please. Sanjay Jha, let him continue.
Now, again. I'll stop this interview.
No, 1 minute. Sanjay Jha, let him continue. No, you continue. We continue one at a time.
All right.
Please. Yes, Mr. Swamy, please continue.
All right. Now, you see, the motive is never a question before the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is a number of times, the famous Bhajanlal's judgment of 1992. They say motives don't matter, political inclinations don't matter. What matters is the facts. Now, I've brought out some facts, documents, and let me get to what you have just said. That something has been put in ink. Yeah, if you go to the website, you'll see it in ink. I took it down from the website. I mentioned it in the press conference. Obviously, your people didn't tell you about it. And it's there. And then in 2011, it is there. And this is one of the offenses that he did not report it in his electoral papers, that is the candidate's affidavit. So the main fundamental thing is that the Associated Journals was created during the freedom struggle, and Jawaharlal Nehru was certainly his chairman, but he didn't create it. There were Sucheta Kripalani was there, Acharya Kripalani was there. There were a number of other important people who were not necessarily in the Nehru camp.
Mr. Swamy.
Yeah. Now wait. So the question is that the issue that has to be dealt with is how come they were able to buy this company by giving 50 lakhs and promising that the 90 crore loan from the AICC we will handle. And on that basis they got it and they are renting out the premises. Can I
present a possible reason? Can I present a possible reason? Sanjay Jha, you raised your hand.
Listen, these possible reasons you must relate to some facts on the ground.
Yes, facts on the ground.
Give your own
facts on the ground. I would not try to draw inferences without the facts on the ground at all, because if I'm locking arms with you...
Tell me what it is.
Now, I find that your argument, Sanjay Jha, I'm just coming. I find that your argument says that AJPL was acquired by Young Indian by the following steps. And you list out the 4 steps in which this company, which ran National Herald, was taken over by a company in which 38% stake each was of Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. Right? So, I presume, Subramanian Swamy, that step 1 is a very critical step. Step 1 in your papers, which you've given today, says AJPL obtains an unsecured loan of 90 plus crores from the All India Congress Committee. And you go on to say this is illegal because a political party cannot give loans for commercial purposes. And you also say the AJPL chairman is Motilal Vora, who is also treasurer of the All India Congress Committee.
Yeah.
You are also a great student of history.
No dispute.
Now, here's my question.
That's got nothing to do with it. It's got to do
No,
with
let
facts.
me come to the point, sir. My point is this.
All right.
Sir, point is that the National Herald, it can be argued, is not just a newspaper. It is very much a part of India's history pre and post independence. 1 minute, sir, let me go. It has a deep historical association with the Congress Party, qua the fact that it was started by Jawaharlal Nehru, and its Urdu edition Qaumi Awaz was started in the pre-independence era. Jawaharlal Nehru was the editor of the paper, and until his appointment as Prime Minister, he was in fact chairman of the board of directors of the Herald. The point I'm making to you tonight is this, sir, that the National Herald is known for its deep
family property.
Relationship with the Congress Party. So the Congress Party can say, we are sustaining an organization that has a deep relationship with us. So why Subramanian Swamy? Subramanian Swamy, step 1, therefore, is a flawed step.
No. Yeah. Stop there. How is they sustaining it? They are winding it up.
They are giving a loan.
Young Indian is not going to produce a newspaper.
They are giving a loan.
No, leave alone the loan. That's a separate issue of whether AICC can give a loan or not. Your comment just now that it has been purchased to sustain it. How can it be?
Sir,
They are just winding it up.
So I'm making a point playing devil's advocate with Subramanian Swamy. No, Subramanian Swamy, the point I'm making, limited point is...
more devil than the advocate.
No, 1 second. I'm making that point to you. My job is to be the devil's advocate. My point is that
make 1 point. Don't make 5 points.
1 point.
Make 1 point.
If you allow me 1 point. My one point is that this newspaper's entire history and fortunes are inextricably linked with those of the Indian National Congress. Post-independence, it was shut down for 2 years from 77 when Indira Gandhi lost in the 77 elections that followed the emergency. Therefore, by giving the unsecured loan, the party was re-establishing its historical association with an institution, not just an institution that produces a newspaper. That is the limited 1 point.
Now, see, the problem is, don't go on sentiment. The law is political parties cannot give loans to commercial enterprises. It was a newspaper, it was being sold, and profits were accruing in it. They were giving dividends in it when they were not making losses. And therefore, the AICC had no business to give a loan. That's one. The second part is that they have sold it to Young Indian, which got this land and the building was provided for by donations. The land was given cheaply because the newspaper was going to be produced. The whole Bahadur Shah Safar Marg was reserved for that. Now you have converted the use for that.
Yes.
And you have made it. You have started renting out premises.
Yes.
And
renting out.
The government has.
Okay.
Government has opened a passport
Answer
office.
that. Answer that, Sanjay Jha.
Then multinationals are coming in, I've told.
Answer that, Sanjay Jha. You take over a paper. You get a loan from the Congress, take over a paper. Don't produce the paper and lend out the premises at a figure which Subramanian Swamy says 30 lakhs a month or something. He said, I don't know. He didn't produce papers to show that. But you...
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
But you don't show any papers for that. But that's your inference. But the point is that money is being made. Right, Sanjay Jha? Money is being made.
Can I answer? Can I answer that, Arnab?
Yeah, answer Subramanian Swamy.
The first and foremost, the gentleman on the other side, whatever his name is, he should know that money has not been given for a commercial purpose. So that by itself rubbishes the entire argument. Number one. Point number two. When I read the entire article on the RSS propaganda website, which is exactly what he quoted in the press conference, there is this ludicrous assumption or interpretation that says that we don't know why would such a transfer happen if they have no intention to launch something as a newspaper or a magazine or any kind of literature that will be promoting the Congress cause. Now, let me tell you, it is his call. It is Mr. Swamy or whoever it is can interpret it the way he wants to. End of day, these are all transparent regulations. And let me tell you, Arnab, Section 25A actually is a more stringent, is a tighter regulation that ensures that that venture or that particular trust cannot get into any future, joint venture or business dealing with any other entity.
No, he says a political party cannot give a loan for commercial purposes.
And has a bet.
A political party cannot give a loan for commercial purposes.
Therefore, this is a... Absolutely. Therefore, I'm saying, and it is not. Therefore, the point
So Herald House is not being given to the passport office for charity. Herald House is not being given to the passport office for charity. Somebody is making some money out of it. So it is by nature a commercial transaction.
Now, let me explain that. Let me explain that. You see, end of day, any trust at this point of time, firstly, whatever, if it has a certain capital, if it has certain assets, if it has anything where it can create any degree of income which will further in the future, kind of fund any of the activities it does, that is the way any trust works. I mean, there are trusts
1 minute left, rebut.
Which have a lot of real estate assets.
1 minute left, rebut.
1 minute. The crucial aspect is the purpose of the trust, the funds it has, and how that is utilized. As long as there is nothing,
if a company has been registered under Section 25 of the Corporates Act, if a company has been registered under Section 25 of the Companies Act, and I'm not a lawyer, but I do believe that refers somewhere to a non-profit company that cannot therefore be in the purpose of private profit, a Section 25 company that can it rent out the properties that are acquired. That is a limited point, Sanjay. You may say it's a technical point.
But the point, yeah. See the point, listen, the main point, and I'll tell you, Arnab, I mean, this is something that we should not ignore. This has been a sustained propaganda of Mr. Swamy. We have seen the results, what happened with the Supreme Court in the case of the 2G. He has been promising a lot of exposés that have unfortunately...
Now we'll have to take a rebut from Mr. Swamy.
To take Dr. Swamy seriously is a question whether you need to take it with enough salt, pepper, or a lot of chili powder.
Okay, that's the last response.
These are wild allegations.
Wild allegations in the dark. And a letter goes out which Subramanian Swamy says does not constitute a legal notice by Rahul Gandhi. Your response: are you shooting in the dark? A. Are you shooting for the RSS? B. Are you putting out matters in public domain which existed on the RSS website two or 3 days back? C. That's question number C tonight, Subramanian Swamy, to you before I wrap up.
Well, you asked me one question at a time. As far as it being on the RSS website, what's wrong with that? RSS is a friendly organization, and I can give it to them. It is they quote me, they don't say this is RSS's research. They have taken my press release which I gave for the other company which I didn't release in Delhi, the back ops company, which is another scandal of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And I think the best thing is Mr. Rahul Gandhi goes to court and files a defamation case, and we'll fight it out. All this Ramakrishnan sending a letter, somebody called some Jha or somebody you pick up from somewhere who is not even well prepared to answer any of the questions, just makes allegations of my motives
you did not
and why
answer
I'm
my
doing
questions,
this and so on.
whoever you are.
So in this regard, you please you please ask Mr. Rahul Gandhi that he should go to court and file a case.
Okay, gentlemen.
I'm happy to fight that case. I've so far never lost a defamation case, so I'll win this one also.
Subramanian Swamy and Sanjay Jha. I wish I could reintroduce you both, but for that wonderful and fiery debate tonight on Top of News Hour. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you.